Hello and welcome back. This is DextDee live from China. And today we're going to talk about the operating system and the DAW that you would need to use to make music. So let's talk about the two most dominating operating systems. The first one is Microsoft and the second one is Apple. The philosophy that both of them chose was quite simple. Microsoft decided to go as a software company, whereas Apple decided to go as a software and a hardware company. So what that means is that Microsoft was going to make the operating system and leave the hardware to IBM, HP, Compaq, and all the other hardware companies that you know of, so that they would bring the hardware, Microsoft would bring the software, put it together, and they give you a PC. Quite simple. Apple, on the other hand, decided that they were going to make their own hardware and make their own software and then put them together. So when they give it to you, it is exactly what they intended it to be. Now, what you would realize over here is that Apple was going to get a very uniform operating system all around because they know the hardware they have and the software they have for each other. They go together. Microsoft, on the other hand, would not really have an equal feeling on every single PC because every hardware company would make something different. For example, Microsoft would make a software that should be able to run on the minimum specs of, let's say, this and that and that and that. So what that left you with is not the same feeling on every PC that you buy, but a very solid and rigid feeling on every Mac that you bought. So if you do understand right now, this is the basic concept, and that is why Apple and Macintosh is quite rigid, whereas Windows, on the other hand, is a little clustered. Let me use that word. Now, speaking about DAWs, it's also another issue. What you have to know is that whatever DAW you choose is compatible with some operating systems and it's not compatible with some others. So if you're going to choose an operating system, you have to think of the DAW that you're going to use. For example, FL Studio doesn't actually have a software version for Macintosh. They do have a virtual systems that you can run to be able to run FL Studio on a Mac. People do it all the time. But personally, I would not recommend that. So if you're going to go with things like FL Studio and some other DAWs, Macintosh is not going to be the software, the operating system that you would want to choose. On the other hand, if you're going to go with, like, let's say Pro Tools, Logic, Cakewalk, they run on both operating systems. So that is what you want to go with. So you have to think about these two things first. Very important. Operating system and the DAW that is compatible with the operating system. Now, some of you might ask, so which one is the best operating system to go with? It doesn't really matter. As I stated earlier, it's the operating system that would determine which DAW that you can and cannot use. Basically, that is the idea. Which one is better is not an issue. What is important is, can you use it? Can you not use it? If you cannot use it, do not go near it. Now, luckily for us, these DAW companies, they do give us free demos to try, 30 days, or you can try with some limitations and stuff. So go ahead, download every single one of them. Try them, see which one works best for you. Now, when you have that, stick with it. Now, if someone says, oh, I think Pro Tools is the best, I think Logic is the best, that is what works for the person, maybe not you. Personally speaking, I have tried most of the DAWs and I decided to stick with FL Studio and Adobe Audition. For me, they go hand in hand. I do my beats in FL Studio and then I do the vocals and some other mixing in Adobe Audition. That is just how I like to work my stuff. Like I said again, one, Microsoft and Apple, they both have a different philosophy. Software company, software hardware company. That is the first thing. Two, DAWs are compatible with some operating systems officially, and they are not compatible with some operating systems. So that is the second thing you have to remember. So whichever one that you decide to go with should be based on which one is compatible. And finally, if you decide to go with one operating system, stick with a DAW that works best for you. It does not matter which one people are saying it's crazy about, but go with the one that you can use. Because if you cannot use it, they say Pro Tools is so good, and you cannot use Pro Tools, what are you going to do in there? You're just going to waste your time. Where you could have used the time creatively in a DAW that works best for you. So there you have it. Go and try all the DAWs that are available to you. You can download them for free. There's nothing that is limiting you. Stick with the one that works best for you and start making some music. So if you have any questions, leave any comment below, and feel free to like this video if you actually do like it. And just contact me anyhow you want to do it. If you like my videos, if you have any input on how you want me to make the videos as well, you're warmly welcome. I will see you next time. DextDee signing out.